Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I can't wait to introduce our newest guest to the podcast, One Heart and Mind. It is Daniel Christe, Father Daniel Christe, our newest priest in the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. You're going to love his story. It's all coming up next. But first, let's tell you more about the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to United in Mission, One Heart and Mind, a podcast from the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw. I'm your host, John Gonzalez, the Director of Communications here at the Diocese. Inspired by Acts 4:32, we believe that by coming together, one heart and one mind, we can strengthen our faith and live out our mission as disciples of Christ. Now, we have three pillars here at the Diocese. It's number one, to love and support our priest. Number two, to form disciples on mission. And number three, go after the lost sheep. Under the leadership of Bishop Robert Gruss, this podcast will explore our pillars and the many ways we are united in faith, service, and love. Join us as we share stories of hope, inspiration, and the power of community in our diocese. You'll find this episode, videos, events, and many more resources on our website. Just go to saginaw.org. Now, let's get to the show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. United in Mission, One Heart and Mind. I'm John Gonzalez. Yeah, I think you know that by now. Hopefully you know that by now. Excited to be here because we have our newest priest for the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw, Father Daniel Christe. Father, how you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the library. Today we're in the library. Have you been here before?
No, not this one.
Not this library, but you probably know libraries pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Just coming out of the seminary.
Yeah. I know this part of the Center for Ministry, too.
Yes, we're at the Center for Ministry here at the Catholic Diocese of Saginaw, right next to the Chancery. Probably about maybe 10 miles from downtown Saginaw, where we have the Cathedral of Mary the Assumption. And boy, that was a big day. Your ordination was here May 30th, right?
Yes.
May 30th of 2025. I know that day has some significance for you. We'll talk about that in a minute. But just some first thoughts of people coming up to you and say, "Hey, Father," as opposed to, "Hey, Deacon," right?
Yep.
What's it been like this first weekend?
Feels really good. I mean, still trying to get used to the whole Father part, but
Yes, you did several masses over the weekend, right?
yep. Did 3 at St. Stan's Church, Our Lady of Chesterhoga Parish.
Yeah. And then you have more coming up.
Oh yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I meant to bring that list with me. I'll see if our producer Tim Spear can put the list up of where you're going to be. Whether right now he puts it up or toward the end of the show, we'll make sure to remind people to come out and see you. Will you also be signing autographs too?
I did have one.
You did sign an autograph?
Yep. Some people came over with worship aids and here, sign these.
That's awesome. I was just kind of joking, but yeah, you're right. I mean, why not? Well, one thing I did learn, which, I didn't realize this, that getting your blessing is a big deal, especially on the day of your ordination, right?
It's good for the whole first year of a priest, the first blessing.
So the first blessing is the whole year?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not just one day?
No.
Oh, well, you had a whole line. I love it. Your first one, do you remember your first blessing you did as a priest?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Bishop Gruss.
Bishop Gruss, that's right. I was like, whoa, Bishop Gruss is on his knees asking for Father Daniel's blessing. What was that like?
That was really good. I knew he was gonna ask, so
he gave you some warning.
Yeah. And it's tradition that a bishop would always ask.
Yeah.
The priest he ordains, give him the blessing.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool because then all the priests, your fellow priests from the diocese and some other people that were here as well, after we took that group photo, Tim, make sure to put that group photo up there as well. The group photo in front of the cathedral, and people were applauding for you and everything, and we took the photo, and as soon as, I think even before the photo, priests were asking for your blessing.
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
Yeah, I feel really good, and just kind of wanted to do my parents first, but
Right. And you did.
yeah, I got to them pretty quick. But
Yeah. And then you had a line of people asking for your blessing there in the cathedral. And when you reflect on that day and that evening at the reception later here at the Center for Ministry, Was it a blur, or can you remember every single moment?
Nah, it was pretty much a blur. Went by quick once it started.
Yeah. Well, on today's podcast, we're going to get into your journey, because you have an interesting one. I think every journey is right. Every person's journey is interesting, I think.
Oh yeah, I always enjoy hearing priest vocation stories and other vocation stories from other seminarians. And there's a lot of things that people have in common, but everybody's is still different in their own way, their path.
Yeah. Well, let's tell your story real quick. But before we delve more into your story, we have a video we want to play. This is from, I want to say, September of 2020, where you are, let's get our headphones on here, where you are, I don't know, maybe at a golf outing or something. I'm not sure where this video is.
Oh, it's taken right out here.
Right out here? All right, Tim, our producer, can you play the video for both of us?
My name is Daniel Christe. I'm 41. Just entering the seminary here, my first year of pre-theology. I'll be going to Sacred Heart Seminary and School of Theology in Hales Corner, Wisconsin. Growing up, I always wanted to be a priest, and when I was 16, I started hanging out with the wrong crowd. My sister was 10, passed away from a brain aneurysm. I started going to parties and just doing the partying lifestyle and turned my back towards God. And finally, when I turned 30, I came back to church and went to a confession and had a great penance. Told me to go spend 10-15 minutes in front of the Lord and see if I was ready to come back. During that time, I could just feel God calling me back every Sunday. So I started coming back. Come June, I decided to pray a novena. I started looking around for ones to find a job back again. I found one for St. Francis Xavier Cabrini. And I decided to end it on the Feast of Sacred Heart. So, as soon as I finished, I heard the voice of God. Daniel, you know the path I set in front of you before the beginning of time. Come follow me and feed my flock. When I heard that, I knew God was calling me to be a priest. Last year, they told me to take some classes on my own. So I went down to Sacred Heart Major Seminary in Detroit. Got a certificate in Catholic theology. Ever since I decided to say yes to God, I felt at peace at it. And that's all I want to do now is serve Him. The way I see it, I'm just an insignificant little speck of dust in the whole history of creation. How can you not say yes to God when He wants you to do something?
So tell me, what are your thoughts seeing that after, 5 years that was recorded?
Brings back a lot of memories of doing it.
Yeah.
They had all those seminarians out here doing our own videos and getting our pictures taken for the prayer cards.
What was seminarian Daniel Christe like then compared to today? I mean, you must have grown so much and learned so much.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much growing in just a faith life, prayer life, and then all the education you get with philosophy, theology, scriptures.
Yeah.
So.
Was it, how would you describe it? What kind of road was it? Was it up and down? Was it always up? Were you, did you ever have doubts along the way,
Well, I don't say I ever had any doubts. The one thing that always confirms me every year is when they vote on whether to advance me or not, and I always get everybody to vote yes, and I was like, okay, well, guess even everybody else sees it, so.
Right. So everyone sees that you are definitely were headed in the right direction. Yeah. Well, you sound like you're a man of few words. How you have to do a homily every time you preach, right?
Yep. I gotta work on a lot of those right now.
Are you doing a different homily at every mass, or are you doing roughly the same one?
Roughly the same one. Usually you change it a little bit based on the crowd, because usually your visual is going to be more of the elderly folk, and the later one on Sunday mornings is usually the ones with all the kids in it.
Crying babies?
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I love the sound of crying babies in there. So.
Right, no kidding, yeah. Well, we really thank you for doing this. Bishop Gruss talks a lot about, the vocations here in our Diocese of Saginaw. It's not easy. We only had, I think, 4 of you at one time. Now we've got 3. We'll be doing, hopefully, if everything goes okay, we'll have one next June in 2026. And then there's a little bit of a gap. And we've been praying as a diocese, 20 by 30 to have 20 seminarians by 2030. I know Father Andy, who's our director of vocations, has got his hands full. It's a challenge to get more young men interested in, the priesthood. Why do you think sometimes it's so tough? Why has it been so tough, do you think?
Well, I know for me, as a child, I always felt that call, could hear that call. And once I stopped practicing the faith, was not living in a state of grace. I'd never heard any voices, but once I got back in state of grace, it was stronger than ever. It's like, okay, well, I got to come. But I think a lot of people just spend so much time doing other things right now that they're not spending time in prayer to listen for God's voice. Because, like Bishop Bruce was saying, there's no shortage in vocations. There's a shortage of people answering. If you're not paying attention and not listening, how are you going to answer?
Yeah, how are you going to hear that call if you're not even listening for it?
Right? Got so many distractions on. Everybody's always on their cell phone.
Yeah. I'm
bored. Pull up the phone.
Right. I'm bored. I think I'll go pray. Doesn't happen.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about your ordination day at the cathedral. I just remember we did the group photo of the priest out front, and then we went inside to take some photos, your family photos, and maybe Tim can put up a couple of those photos up on the podcast here. I think that first photo, or maybe the second photo, or third photo, because the first one was you and Bishop, but the photo of you and all your siblings, it seemed like more and more kept coming out. How many siblings do you have?
I have 14 siblings. So, I have one sister that passed away back in '95. So, then one brother that couldn't make it from the state of Washington, but still had the other.
Is that why we were like, okay, is this everyone? No, there's 3 more still. And I'm like, 3 more? Wait, is this cousins too?
No.
So it's a large family.
Yeah.
What was it like? You grew up here in the Saginaw area?
Yeah, I grew up in Bay City.
Bay City. What was it like growing up?
I really enjoyed having a lot of siblings. I always had people to play with. I always went out with my brothers, played baseball or hockey So.
Where do you fall in the order?
I'm number 5 out of the 15.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that easy? Or that's not really middle child. It's hard to say with that big of a group.
It's like older third, I guess.
Yeah, you're the older third. Yeah.
But being a part of a big family, the older ones are always counted on to help pitch in. So, like I would help. I learned from an early age, like at 10, I started learning how to cook, and my dad worked third shift, and my mom would teach a CCD class at St. Mary's in Bay City. And those nights it was up to us to get the dinner ready.
Right. Right. So growing up in Bay City, what was your home parish?
St. Mary's of the Assumption.
Okay.
Now it's called Our Lady of Peace. But
yeah. You were there. Were you an altar server? What did you do? What was your faith life then as a family? Did you guys go to church every Sunday? Or?
Yeah. Like my first year at St. Mary's is the year I made my first communion, and right afterwards I started altar serving. As soon as I got up there, it's like, oh, I love being up on this altar.
Yeah.
That's when I first started feeling that call to be a priest.
Yeah. So when you're altar serving and you had some thoughts of maybe this is where God is calling me. Yeah. What stopped you? Was it just hanging out with the wrong crowd?
Yeah, that was pretty much what stopped me. Was hanging out with the wrong crowd and seeing all the girls in class. I was like, okay, well,
yeah.
I think I kind of want to get married and have a family of my own.
Right. Like most people, right?
Tried asking God, well, how about I give you 2 sons? Just let me get married.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't work that way. He's calling you. He's gonna keep calling you.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell me more about your life growing up there. You mentioned sports a little bit. Did you play high school sports? Did you just kind of hang out with your friends? I mean,
just basically when I was really young, I played Little League Baseball, but a lot of sandlot sports. Living in Bay City, I went to Bay City Western for high school.
Yeah.
didn't really want to put my parents through the hassle of driving all the way out there for sports and pick me up, so really never played any high school sports.
Right.
Plus, 8th and 9th grade, I was at a private school down in Mount Morris.
Okay.
Boarding school, so getting back in 10th grade, it's kind of hard to start, try to get on the teams then, too.
Right. Well, I think that's a great story. I know that, you obviously, people are going to mention your age, right? Like, you're not, like, I love the video that we just showed. Your beard's a little different compared to today, right? And you entered the seminary, you're 41?
Yep.
So, that's a little later in life for most people. Did you have any reservations about your age?
No, I felt if God's calling me, this is where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at first I was like, because the bishop asked me where I wanted to go, and I was already doing those classes in Detroit and getting used to that. I was like, well, I want to stay there. He's like, well, I'm going to send you the other Sacred Heart. And a little disappointed until I got there and realized, okay, he definitely knows where the Holy Spirit wants me, because Sacred Heart in Franklin, Wisconsin, often called Harold's Corners, but it's mostly meant for a second career vocation, so I was like average age. Like this year, I had a guy graduate with me, he was 74.
Really?
And we had two 25-year-olds, so I was kind of right in the middle.
Wow, yeah, you could hang out with either side, right?
Yeah.
You had the same references.
Yeah. Got to see some of the pictures from the 74-year-old, because he was ordained a priest day after me, so.
Wow.
I always wonder how are they going to have him get up from laying prostrate, but he has trouble kneeling anyway, so they just had him kneel while the rest were prostrate. And it's like, okay, well, that's...
And this is what you're talking about when you actually lay out, right? You're like totally part of the ceremony is, you're there and you're prostrate, you're just outstretched.
Yeah. Everybody in the whole parish is praying over you and asking all the saints to pray for you and get all the blessings you can from the ordination that's about to happen at that point.
Yeah, and then when the priests come out, this is my first one I've attended, and I'm sure you've been to many, right?
Yeah, a few.
I was just amazed how moving the ceremony is, watching your fellow priests lay their hands on you. What's that like when you're kneeling there and they're coming up to you and putting their hands on you?
It was very humbling, I think.
What's going through your mind at that time? Like,
I was just... I don't really remember what was going through my mind at that point, because...
like I said, it was a blur.
Yeah.
It was a blur. No, that's great. Well, you talked in that video also about, your life, that you kind of went with the wrong crowd, and you had different jobs, I'm assuming, along the years, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things you did?
First job was a dishwasher / busboy at a buffet restaurant in town. Then after that, I worked at a farm. Worked Myers, doing a deli and grocery stocking. I worked at Detroit Metro Airport as it's called TSA now, but it was way before TSA.
Right.
There's no really benefits of doing that. So.
Right.
Got into the Iron Workers Union, so worked that for a good chunk of years, probably 12 years is that.
Yeah.
Then worked as a truck driver for 9 years. Did the first 8 years all over the road, so I was gone 2 weeks at a time, or a week at a time, depending.
Yeah. And during this time, what's going through your mind? Like, where are you and God at that time over all these years while you're working the deli or meat counter at Meyer or on the road as a truck? Like, are you praying every day? Are you conversations with God?
Not at that point. I mean, I was not even practicing. I wasn't going to church back then. Well, first job I was, but as a dishwasher. But
yeah,
all those other jobs. When I was still iron worker, that's when I got my call. But I was so far in debt when I met with Bishop Stone. He's like, well, you got to get rid of that first. And
right.
Tried another 2 years, so I was trying to get into the iron workers down in Gary, Indiana. And their work was slow too, so I kept getting laid off. I'm like, well, this ain't
Yeah.
this ain't working.
This ain't paying the
My
bills.
brother
Yeah.
just got out of the military at the time. He was looking into driving a semi-truck too, and like, okay, well, I know you're not getting laid off from that. And it's good
Right.
pay too, so
Right.
got into that.
Did you always feel like Daniel, like Father, Father Daniel? Did you ever feel like, I know there's something more. I mean, I got to get through this hurdle, and then I'm on to something else. And you're going, I know this is temporary. I know this is temporary. I mean, sometimes I have those thoughts in my head. Like, okay, I'm doing this now, but this is not where God's plan is.
Yeah, that's what I felt the whole time driving that semi-truck. And like the first company I worked for, I drove for 2 years. They're one of the largest in the world, but they don't really pay that well. So it's like, okay, I'm just basically surviving right now.
Right.
But I know the end of the line, 2 years down, I can go to
Yeah.
a company that actually, once they get experience, they'll
Yeah.
hire you and pay you well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm really excited for you, especially as you're traveling through the diocese to celebrate Mass throughout some different parishes in the diocese. Let's put up that graphic now. People can see that of where you're going to be celebrating in the next couple weeks. Pretty much the whole month of June, right?
Yeah.
You're kind of
I
bouncing
got
around.
this weekend and then 2 weekends from now.
2 weekends from now, you're on the road. What are some of the things you're already getting from people after Mass? Like when they come up to you, what are they saying? Obviously, they're asking for a blessing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of congratulations and thanking me for following my call.
Yeah.
Telling our priests 'cause we need them here.
Yeah. So you're getting a lot of, hey, thank you, we need you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good. We can't wait to see one of those masses. Let's talk a little bit more about what's next for you. Obviously, for a priest, that first assignment has got to be exciting, and a little scary at the same time, right? Where are you going, and how are you feeling about this assignment?
I'm going to, well, kind of really like the name, so I'm going to Sacred Heart and Parish in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and St. Mary's University Church Parish, also in Mount Pleasant. So it's like Sacred Heart, they got a pre-K through 12, so get a lot of experience working with schools. And
Right.
then the university, they got a focus group, and I got a Newman Center there, so a lot of ministry to the youth, and hopefully my life experience can help save them from going down a path that they don't want to go through.
Right. You're going to say, let me save you a lot of time and heartache and headache, right?
Yeah.
Just go right to them, right? It'll be good. It'll be fun to hear some of the reactions, especially from the college students, if they come up to you assuming, because you're older, right, than them, and that they may not know that you're out of the seminary. Like, they may be looking for your history, like, right?
Yeah.
And you'll say, no, I was ordained in May. Speaking of, we talked about that day of May 30th, and this is you said, I believe that's the day that your sister passed away.
May 27th.
Or May 27th was, okay.
So May 30th was the day we had to do our funeral and put her in the ground. That was a very sad day for our family as well. So.
Yeah, and you mentioned that it meant a lot to you to give you that day with a different way of looking at it.
Yeah.
For your whole family,
Yeah.
not just you.
Yeah. It was one of those sad, dark days for the family.
Mm-hmm.
We all gathered together at St. Mary's, well, the Assumption in Bay City at the time, 30 years ago, back
Yeah.
in 95 to do it. Now, pretty much the whole family, a lot more that came along afterwards, are all gathered at St. Mary's Assumption Cathedral for
Right.
a good day in the family.
For a good day, yeah. Yeah. Was there anything else that you want to add or talk, or something that you want to just let people know about you that they may not know?
Nothing's coming to mind right now. But
You're so humble. No, I mean, you must be though excited to get out there and start this new chapter.
oh yeah, I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
Looking forward to actually being out of school and in the parish doing what I'm called to do.
Right.
We're not called to sit there in the classroom for life.
Right. Well, I'm sure you feel like you'll be able to bring a different dimension, right? You have some life experiences when you not only preach a homily or, when someone reaches out to you and says, Father, I'm struggling with this or that. You're like,
Yeah.
been there, done that.
Yeah. Plus, a lot of the parents I've talked to, I've given them a lot of hope because I know a lot of them are dealing with their children not going to mass, and that really hurts them. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I know my parents offered up prayers for me daily. I finally came back.
Yeah.
Like when I came back, number 5 of the 15 that were going to church on a regular basis. Now, almost all of the children are going to church. And,
Yeah. You made a difference in their
Yeah.
lives, right? One last thing, is there a specific Bible verse that, scripture verse that means something to you? Or is there, a special gospel? Is there anything that you, it always comes to mind? I mean, I know personally I have, one, but I'm sure you have at least one or more than that. Or a saint that resonates with you.
yeah, well, I'm not sure the verse, but knowing Elijah talks about, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. I called you by name. I was like, well, there. That always resonates with me.
Yeah, right. I think you mentioned that in the video, right? That
Yeah.
That you knew that God had a plan for you,
Yeah.
and you just had to figure out what that would be, right?
Yeah.
All right, Father Daniel Christe, we appreciate you being on the podcast today. And when's your first? When does your official assignment begin in Mount Pleasant? Is it on the 1st of July? Or?
Yes, 1st of July.
1st of July. All right. I guess since my in-laws live in Mount Pleasant, I'll see you out there.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot, Father.
Yep. No problem. Thank you.